Today, I want to talk about the greatest hoax and lies ever forced upon the American and black people. The greatest lies and the greatest hoax in history. Before I go into this topic, I want to discuss the psychology of cult worship and the background to how cult works. This could be whether religion or this could be politics, if you like. The government are cult leaders and we are the sheep. Why I say that? Hardly anyone trusts the government, but how do they manage to get us to vote for them? Because through manipulation, propaganda, misinformation and division, the government is able to successfully get us to vote for them. They know how to do it with rhythm and mantra, repeating certain words in certain order, and thus they are guaranteed that the sheep will follow these cult leaders. They know how to pull the right strings. Cult leaders know the makeup and psychological component as to what makes the sheep tick. They know how to pull at the right strings and the kind of fish that would like a certain kind of bait. And as long as you know how to put the word association with rhythm and politics, you have the sheep eating right from the palm of your hands. And that is how cults are able to control the masses. Louis Farrakhan is an example of this great cult leader. He knows use certain language, certain rhythm, use or exploit Jewish, Hebrew, symbolic, simile and history, and culturalize it into a black psychology using a manic preacher tone and intonation. And he knows that black people, their minds become strange when they listen to his strange, incoherent message. But he knows how to target the signals in their brain using the preacher type code of style of speaking. And thus you have your sheep. Their minds are like fertile ground ready for the picking or for the plowing. Louis Farrakhan knows that the charisma he has over these dumb sheep, he can say anything or everything and the sheep will not question. Once you got somebody mesmerized, you can say pink sheep, pink sheep. I'm going to tell you this, blah blah blah, Adolf Hitler, pink sheep, pink sheep. Your mind don't decipher because you're already worshipping that person. And that's the strategy Louis Farrakhan uses, as well as David Jones and David Koresh. They all use this style of mind propaganda. Hence, when Louis Farrakhan claimed the American government was trying to kill him, there was an assassination plot. It was the biggest lies in history. I've researched and researched documents after documents, files after files, and there's no evidence on the social media that Louis Farrakhan's life was in any danger whatsoever. I remembered listening to Louis Farrakhan claiming that his house was firebombed by white racists. And this is how gullible the sheep is once you've already got their minds like putty. He said, "My daughter is in the audience. Come here, daughter. Come here, wife." Almost as if he just survived, a firebombed by a bunch of white racists. He lied on that story too. I've researched every area of the internet. There's nobody has even heard about Louis Farrakhan's house being firebombed by white racists. But because black people in the Nation of Islam hate white people so much, Louis Farrakhan knows they're not going to cross-examine him. If the KKK was to make up a lie and said black people robbed their house, and the black people didn't do it, the KKK members would not even question it. That is how the mind works. When you are full of hate, it is so easy for cult leaders to come in and plant anything they want, because they know you're not going to question it. Why? Because you hate black people, because you hate white people. So therefore they know your mind is fertile, and that's the reason why the government can rule over us. Why? Because if anyhow the people start to wake up and the government start to panic, all they have to do is create racial division. That's all they have to do. The government will never be under attack, because all they have to do is create racial disharmony, and they know like sheep we fall for it. And that's how Louis Farrakhan works. He knew at the time his popularity was declining. People are questioning, why is it that Louis Farrakhan is still alive? This man is threatening America. This man is threatening white people. He wants to kill white people, and he's still alive. And suddenly, Malcolm X is being murdered. Martin Luther King. Louis Farrakhan is still alive. What is going on? And conveniently, he had a firebombed at his house. I looked everywhere on the internet, and I did not see anything to substantiate his claims. Nowhere whatsoever. Louis Farrakhan in another video claimed that he was banned from television for 20 years. He was banned from television. Ex-Nation of Islam members watching this video, they will confirm everything I'm saying, everything. There's a channel called Malcolm X Revenge. You ask them and they will confirm what I'm saying now. Right? I was going to say now. Yes, Louis Farrakhan claimed he was banned. He was banned from appearing on television for 20 years. Do you know he lied? He appeared consistently on breakfast TV, CNN, you name it. Yet the Nation of Islam, their mind is so sleepy that they totally remain oblivious to the lies. If your mind is strong, I challenge you, look at all Nation of Islam videos from the early beginnings, and you will see the lies that they've told. But the reason why the sheep do not know they're being lied to, as I said, if your mind is full of hate for white people or for black people, then whatever is being filled into it, already the filtering system is already gone. So they can tell you anything. Hitler was wearing a miniskirt, pink sheep, pink sheep. Hitler was wearing brassiere, pink sheep. Kill white people, kill white people. And suddenly your subconscious mind becomes confused. Why do you think I don't go to church? I'm a strong Christian, but I know the power of mind propaganda, which is why the book which I've finished writing, I'm just waiting for a friend to do the book club and everything, you know, the title might be called "I Left Christianity but Found Christ." You know, Christianity is nothing more than money and mind puppet, you know, mind control program. That's what it's come to, run by a pack of LGBT. But that's beside the point. But it's all about mind control. If you can control a person's mind, you control their behavior, their politics, their life, everything about them. But you have to know their weakness. You have to know their weakness. And Louis Farrakhan knows that black people in America, whether it's true or not, they feel disfranchised. Even though black people are judges, black people are senators. In Britain, if you're a policeman, my God, you're doing very well. If you're a policeman, a black policeman in Britain, you are really upper class. That's how bad Britain is. America, you black people have it easy. You're in heaven. But Louis Farrakhan tried to pretend to black people that they're suffering. 98% of crimes done against black men is not the police, it's not white people, it's black men who hate black men killing black men. Tell me if I'm lying. Please tell me if I'm lying. Black men killing black men. 98%. The Black Lives Matter, Nation of Islam, Black Panther movement won't cover that. Why? Are they run by the FBI? Why is it that the Black Panther can walk around with guns, yet they've never shot white people? Why is it Nation of Islam have, as Louis Farrakhan said, his own soldiers? But he has a history of killing black people, threatening black people. Yet suddenly he's got death threats on his life. He's been firebombed. I've not seen no evidence to the claims. No evidence. That man knows how to walk into the minds, the abused and cut up, wounded minds of black people. That's how he makes his money. Use Islam, use Christianity, and bring the two symbols and metaphors and confuse the mind of black people. He's got them under a spell. Black magic. Doing black magic with their brains. And it's because he's using black magic, ritual, with Islamic lies and lies in his own personal life, that he's managed to just tell the greatest lies in history. That they tried to kill him. They firebombed his house, these so-called white racists, and it never happened. There was no firebombed in Louis Farrakhan's house. It would have been all over the media. All the black newspapers would have covered it. Louis Farrakhan being threatened. It's only happening in Louis Farrakhan's own mind. The man is paranoid. He feeds into his own nonsense. If America wanted to take out Louis Farrakhan, they could have done it. If they wanted to kill him, they could have done it. That man is on the payroll. I once said to a policeman, we got talking, and I said to a policeman, I heard that there was a black, it was a black drug dealer. It was a white drug dealer. This white drug dealer, who was a multi-millionaire, drives Ferraris, etc. I said to the policeman, why is he not arrested? You know he's a multi-millionaire. Why isn't he arrested? And the policeman turned around and says, I don't know. And I said to him, yes you do. I said, the government obviously, he's on their payroll. He's paying them to keep their mouth shut. Or the local council, what you'd call senators. They're on the payroll. They're doing deals with each other. You can't be a multi-millionaire drug dealer and not be taken down. That's just impossible. Louis Farrakhan, with all the power he's got, He had to make up his own death threats to pretend to black people, I'm hip, I'm on the cross. Listen to his messages. I'm on the cross. I've been crucified. I've been crucified. This is his lying little serpent, his lying black devil. How is he being crucified? Driving Rolls Royces, living on black people's pain, eating well, living in a big massive mansion, yet he's being crucified. How? How are you being crucified? You chose that job because it paid well. It's a Louis Farrakhan's empire, from which you cast your magic spell, your magic potion, your black magic, and give it to black people. There was no death threat on your life. It was all made up. There is no evidence to substantiate your claim. No evidence. You sold to black people the biggest lying hoax in history. And for that, divine judgment will be upon your head, black devil.